Good morning, class. Today we'll be starting a new chapter, that is chapter 5, Separation of Substances. So let's start. There are large number of substances and we all are surrounded by various substances such as water, sugar, tea, salt, milk, fruits. These all are various substances. Okay, we use these materials daily. In our day to day life we use these materials, but we take some substances are there in which we separate out the useful part and we remove the unuseful part. So, for example, we filter tea before drinking to separate tea leaves which are not useful. We peel the skin of many fruits such as bananas, oranges, apples, mangoes, etc. Before eating them, what do? We peel the skin of these fruits na. Before eating banana, you peel off its skin, then only you eat them. So that is being described that there are some substances from which we remove the some of the components that are unuseful. Okay, now there are, what are pure substances? A pure substance is the one which is made up of only one kind of substance or substances. Okay, now pure substance is that substance which is not involving any other component in it. It is made up of only one single component. Okay, now it has a definite and well defined set of properties. It has a particular and well defined set of properties. The composition of pure substance is same throughout. Composition means whatever content is there, the amount of that content remains the same throughout the substance. Okay, it does not differ, the composition does not differ. Those substances are pure substances, and the examples of pure substances are all the elements and compounds. Now we will study about mixtures. What is a mixture? A mixture is made up of two or more pure substances. Pure substance is made up of single component. And what is a mixture? Mixture is made up of, by mixing two or more pure substances you can form mixture. These pure substances which are present in a mixture are called components of mixture. These pure substances which are present in the mixture, they are called the components or the constituents of mixture. The components of a mixture retain their original properties. Retain means they carry their original properties. So a mixture shows the properties of all substances present in it. So the mixture completely shows the property of all the components that are present in it, not only one component. Clear? All mixtures are heterogeneous except solutions which are homogeneous. Only solutions are homogeneous while all the mixtures are heterogeneous. Now what are the properties of mixtures? First one is, the constituents of a mixture may be in any ratio. Okay, now first property of mixture is that the constituents, that means the components of the mixture, may be in any ratio. One component may be in high ratio, other component may be in low ratio. That means one component is present in more quantity and maybe the other component is present in the less quantity. Clear? Now second point is, they retain their individual properties. All the components carry their individual properties. Third point, the constituents can be separated by simple methods. These components can be separated by simple methods. What is separation? Now what is separation? The process by which the unwanted components of a mixture are removed to get a desirable substance is called separation. Now what is separation? Separation is that process by which we separate all the unwanted components of a mixture to get a desirable substance, the wanted substance that we, useful substance that we want. Okay, An impure substance is a mixture of one or more substances. Sometimes different materials present in the mixture can be seen. Example, in a mixture of sand and iron fillings, but in many cases the components of a mixture cannot be seen easily. In some cases the components of the mixture can be seen easily from our eyes, in some cases they cannot be seen. For example, in sand and iron fillings, in a mixture of sand and iron fillings, you can easily find out sand and iron fillings. Now in second one, in second case, for example, air is a mixture of many gases. So, but we cannot find out easily that which gas is present where. You cannot see it from your eyes. It is possible to separate the constituents of a mixture by physical methods. Yes, you can separate the various components of the mixture by various physical methods. We usually separate the components of a mixture to, why we separate? To remove the unwanted components, to remove harmful components, and to obtain the pure sample of substance, means to get the pure substance, and last, extract useful components from the mixture. Extract means to take out useful components from the mixture. Now, principle of separation. Each constituent of a mixture has some unique property. Each component of a mixture is having any unique property of itself. Okay, this difference in property is utilized to separate. This differentiating the properties only helps us to separate various components from the mixture. With the help of their properties, we can separate the components from the mixture. Now some physical methods of separation are given. We have some physical method. There are various methods of separating substances from their mixtures. These methods are based on just one principle. Which principle? That different materials have different properties. Yes, that only, which I told just now, that we can separate different materials, different components from a mixture by with the help of their properties. Now some common methods let's study. For example, you have to separate solids from solids. First method is given, how to separate solids from solids. First method is given, threshing. Threshing is the process of separating grains from the stalks. Some of you must have seen also that grains are separated from the stalks by the process of threshing. Okay, you must have seen wheat, or generally wheat is or paddy crops are done with this process, threshing. Each plant has a stalk that supports grains. All of you must have seen the plant of that wheat. It is called a stalk. It is having a stalk which supports the grain. Now each stalk has many grains, and in one stalk there are many grains. We need these grains from the stalk. For that, what do? We cut the stalks and make their bundles. Okay, first of all we cut the stalks and make their bundles. Now these bundles are allowed to dry for a few days. When the stalks are dried, then grains are separated from these stalks either manually or with the help of a machine called thresher. You must have seen, thresher is a type of machine. Just see here, threshing of grains is being done in the picture. In some villages, those who belong to the villages, they must have seen, some of you. So we use thresher, or with the help of the hands they do it. In manual threshing, stalks are beaten on a plank. How manually you can do? The stalks are beaten on a plank or anywhere or stone to free the grains, so that the grains come out from the stalks. Okay. Now winnowing. Second process is winnowing. It is defined as the process to separate light solid substance from heavier ones by using the wind. Now in this process, light substances are separated from the heavier ones with the help of wind. The mixture of wheat and husk is taken in a conventional vessel and is allowed to fall down from a height. Okay, just we allow a mixture of wheat and husk to fall from a very high level, and then the wind, what happens, the wind carries the lighter husk with it. The lighter husk that is there, that flows away with the wind, and the wheat grains being heavier fall on the ground. Wheat grains are heavier, they fall on the ground and form a heap. Heap means a bundle. Okay, huge bundle. The husk particles form a heap at a short distance away from the heap of wheat grains. So these husk and wheat grains are separated. Now hand picking, next process. It is defined as a process to separate undesirable constituents from a mixture of picking with hands. Hand picking is the process. By the name only you can understand that some unwanted materials are separated with the help of our hands. Okay, the grains after winnowing, after the process of winnowing, the grains that are obtained, wheat grains, they may also, then also after winnowing also, they may contain some small pebbles. Pebbles means stones, some small stones. These pebbles are separated from the grains by hand picking. So we can use the process of hand picking, means through hands we can pick and remove these pebbles, that is small stones. For example, pebbles in rice, pulses and spices can be separated by this process. Everyone's mother does this. You must have seen at your homes that before before cooking rice, your mother just picks out all the unwanted materials, that is pebbles and all, from the rice by the process of hand picking only. Clear? Next one is sieving. This method is used to separate small pebbles which are mixed with seeds in a large quantity. Now this method is used to separate small pebbles, that is stones, which are mixed with the seeds in large quantity. Okay, seeds. In this process, a sieve is used for sieving grains. Just see here in this process what happens, sieve is used, like this one. This is a sieve, and here with the help of sieving machine we can separate. Such a sieve has small holes. See, small holes are there in the sieve, which allows only small pebbles to fall through it. So through it what happens, the small pebbles come out from the stones downwards, from the holes downwards, and the grains are retained on the sieve. The grains will remain on the sieve, on the upper part of the sieve, and the stones, that is pebbles, will fall down. Okay, depending on the size of the particles to be separated, sieves are available of different sizes of holes. Okay, in flour mills, impurities like husk and stones are removed from wheat with the help of a slanting sieve. Slanting means tilted. Okay, a slope type is there. This method of separation is also used to separate pebbles from the sand. Clear? That's all for today, class. Rest of the thing we'll discuss tomorrow.